Oh my god, the Dark promo priority has gone haywire, with characters like Old Man Logan and Ultimus now being put into the store or getting to rework. It has really shifted up where you need to put this super valuable resource to have as much benefit as humanly possible. So in this video, we're going to explore that topic. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, make sure you leave it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's go talk Dark promos. Alright guys, let's start by talking about the criteria I use when kind of grading these characters. The impact of the upgrades. So what is putting the actual extra power in the character get me? Character usage. How often and what mode and on what side of the field am I using these characters? The cost. How much Dark promos is it setting me back? Say Skrull costs a lot. Is Skrull costing me that much extra worth not doing two other characters in his place? The expected character longevity. How often are these characters going to be metaphor? And finally, which I don't have here, kind of a secret one, are there diamonds currently available? And do I have dark diamonds ready for them? Because that's going to make some characters jump ahead of others. So let's start by talking about what I call the hard pass class. Sorry, I kind of messed it up there. The hard pass class. These are characters that you just missed the bench on them, all right? They don't pass the sniff test on the criteria we just talked about. Ultron. Sorry, let's not even talk about it. He's in the garbage. Archangel. Same thing. You missed the time when he was good. Doesn't matter, you had to build him for gear tier 17 for Apocalypse. He's just not worth your time. There's too many great characters to Dark promos on. They're too scarce unless you've been buying the Battle Pass since they put Dark promos in them. And even then, I would argue, like, unless you did him way back in the day, you would never consider that. Zombie Iron Man, he doesn't need it. Like, he gets a lot of his damage just from turning the opponent's power against them with his passive, making them hit each other, right? Sure, it leaves him more vulnerable to a permakill attack, but it is what it is. Don't use Zombie Iron Man in a position where he's going to die to that. Morgan Le Fay, the OG Dark promotion character. If you were playing the game when Dark promos were introduced, you probably did her right away because we were getting Dark promos during the calendar. If you weren't, don't do it now. All right? Definitely not worth it. I think I misspelled Le Fay. I think it's Lefay. Anyway. Dormammu. Love the guy. I love the revives. He's no longer the star of the show. He's just there to give revives and possibly stun trauma somebody. Put him as a skirmisher, the extra red stars. They cost too much on him. He's too much of a side character on whatever team he's on now to justify the investment. Zombie Juggernaut. Love this guy. Why does he cost so much? He's used in one mode now, Scopely. He's not usable in a thing like Sword Satellite. There's way better pre-taunts in the game now. I guess it wasn't when they first introduced his cost. But he is being zoned out. Like, his longevity in the larger landscape of the Marvel Strike Force game is not there to warrant investing in Dark promos and thus Dark Diamonds into him. Doom. Sometimes investing in Doom could actually work against you, right? If your Doom's too big and he doesn't get pushed for his first turn, then he has to survive to his second turn, good luck with that. If he's too small, he gets one shot. Damn, that sucks. There's a lot of characters that are just doing team-wide AoEs. Like a big gladiator is just going to one-shot a Doom who's maybe at the regular 4 red star marker that you get just for doing Dark Dimension 4. Kind of an interesting place to be, but where I start docking a lot of points from Doom is I'm a Crucible head. I haven't used Doom in Crucible in weeks. On the defensive side, there's so many fast, intricate kits on the offensive side that it's so easy to not have to worry about what he does. Like, you take Secret Defenders into a Doom, you rewind on top of the Doom, you Black Cat special whoever you want. You don't care if it pings over to the Doom because all of a sudden, because he was rewind, because Robbie got bleed, speed bar, Robbie's going before Doom and Robbie just kills the Doom. It just doesn't matter. And then if you try to use them on the offensive side, then the enemy defensive teams are so intricate, they're so fast, they're so devastating. There's so many happenstantial effects from something like a Crucible Room, where he's ability blocked and then he's useless. So I just don't see the value in putting Dark promos into Doom. And then Rogue. Rogue got a substantial bonus in her like usability with the Extreme team, but it's not like she's part of the raid portion of it. The team has lots and lots of counters in Crucible and in War, and Nightcrawler's kind of running off doing his own thing with Old Man Logan. Now, a lot of people are putting Rogue with Nightcrawler and Old Man Logan. but we found very interesting counters to that are super efficient. So it's definitely not something that I would put my head to. All right, the next category of characters I will call the wishful thinking. These are characters like, frick, I wish I could invest in these guys. But if you didn't do it yet, it's you missed the boat. You did. You probably missed the boat because more and more Dark Promo characters are coming as time goes on. Quicksilver. Quicksilver is a stat-based character. If you don't already have him maxed out and you're using him every day, definitely don't do it now. Because with the new stats that characters coming in, the Annihilators, Ares, whatever the next characters are going to be, Quicksilver is going to steadily and steadily and steadily jump off a cliff in his relevance. And no matter how much extra investment you put into him, he will keep falling down. Whereas the other characters, mechanically, what they bring to their teams, it's a different level. Spider-Man Big Time. Spider-Man Big Time, an amazing character. War defense. He loses a lot of marks for that. I don't really like defensive characters over investing in them too much, unless it's like, oh, this character wins me matches because of the investment. But he has a really amazing use in Crucible, which is that he strips Black Knight, right? He gets that extra focus. He can't be blocked, which is really important. And with a new character coming to the game like Guardian, well, now I have an offense up. It's even easier to get it off him. Fantastic. The other characters we're about to talk about do that job so much better. It's not even close. It's not even a conversation. So he gets put down here. Defensive use steadily falling off, and he's expensive as hell. Not a good look. Nova. Nova's team sucks. Nova is a decent plug-and-play character in Crucible. The Nowhere team is garbage in a mode like Sword Satellite. Nova can't carry it on his own. Amazing plug-and-play character. I love him. I love his look. I like the kit. It just doesn't warrant it. All right, Red Hulk and Black Cat were actually tough to put on this list because Red Hulk is the Robin to Apocalypse, right? Apocalypse is Batman. Red Hulk is Robin. That's right. DC Marvel connection. Red Hulk activates Apocalypse, giving him that fast start, and then Apocalypse just obliterating people, taking care of some of the biggest problems, like an Old Man Logan in War, or not in War, but in Crucible and in Arena right now. So that's really interesting. But because he plays second fiddle, and there's other characters that'll carry a team on their own right, the impact of bringing Red Hulk up at this moment isn't there for me. I would just rather put all that extra investment into Apocalypse because his one punch is what wins and loses matches. Then there's Black Cat. Now, Black Cat, putting red stars on her, the impact is gigantic. The cost is great. Where I use her, she's offense now. She's beating up Spider Society characters. I love that. Longevity of the team, as long as Spider Society is being used on defense in War and in Crucible, Secret Defenders is going to have a room to breathe on the offensive side. Mind you, not Spider Society in the current War season. But they're going to have room to breathe, which is fucking awesome, right? The problem is, I can invest into other characters on her team, and they will do that lifting for her. I can invest extra diamonds into Robbie, into Photon, into Cosmic Ghost Rider, who's kind of like the unofficial fifth member of that team. And so I don't have to put it into Black Cat. And that's why she makes like the wishful thinking list. Now, the next one is like, hey, these are the all-stars of the dark promotion scene. And I do have them list from who I would do last to who I would do first. Which way does it go? Well, let's talk about it. Super Skrull. An amazing character. Arguably a stat-based character who just happens to have a really interesting kit. The impact is huge. Use him every day on the offensive side if you want, or the defensive side if you want, so the flex is really powerful. Where he falls is the cost. The cost of upgrading Super Skrull is two different characters. So you could either do Apocalypse and Black Knight, or Apocalypse and Green Goblin, or you could do one Super Skrull. It's comparable, it's close. So when I think about like Super Skrull carrying one team, or Apocalypse and Green Goblin carrying individual teams, because it's like a one mode use, War and Crucible, I would rather have two teams that are going to work better than just a Skrull that's going to work better. So just numerically, Skrull actually falls on the weaker half of this list for me. But he still makes it because of just how amazing he really is. Green Goblin Classic would be next. Green Goblin Classic, look, on the medium account, I didn't have Apocalypse yet. I didn't have Old Man Logan. Ultimus wasn't a thing yet. Didn't have Black Knight at the proper stars. So I kind of raced my Green Goblin Classic to the highest red stars. I regret nothing. He's been, and the Superior 6 has been, like a master key in Crucible and War in that mid-game level. An amazing team. Baller team. And it looks like they're still going to have some use in Dark Dimension 8. Like, if they don't change that city villain tag, we're going to be going hard on the Superior 6. And then Goblin can be used in that last section. So we're just going to have like an amazing team. And the longevity of Superior 6 seems like it's going to be a long time. And they could just always add new Superior 6 members, right? We still need Scorpion. We still need Hammerhead. We still need like Smythe. We still need, oh my god, there's so many characters we could still get for the Spider Team. Sandman, like there's so many, right? It's crazy. Chameleon, oh my god, there's so many Sinister 6, Superior 6 members that could eventually be added. All right, then there's Captain Britain. Captain Britain, I just threw him on here, honestly, because he's such an amazing character. But the way that his offers worked, if you got him, you probably got every single red star for every single yellow star you bought without having to touch your dark promos, which is good, but we don't know what his second run is going to be like. Well, if somebody like me who didn't buy him on the mid-game account, am I going to unlock him but then have to buy his red stars from 0 upwards? In which case, where does he fall value-wise in that situation? It's really impactful. He needs to tank better. His damage is awesome. But then I look at his team, and like Black Cat, his team is freaking great. The damage, like Hank Pym puts out, Mr. Fantastic, Shuri, like I'll just put extra red stars and diamonds on those characters instead. And I'll just bring Captain Britain to like 4 or 5 red if I have no other projects that I need to do from there, right? So that's where I think about Captain Britain. Black Knight. Black Knight is now farmable. He has been for a while. He is just a nightmare. He kind of breaks my rule because he's mostly a defensive character. But if you start seeing Skrull on the offensive side and you just like, screw this, I just want to kill the Skrull, and you have a big Black Knight, he's going to get that job done. He was instrumental in Sword Satellite, climbing higher and higher and higher. And he's not the most expensive with dark promos. He's like this weird kind of enigma that just doesn't fit what I normally would go for with dark promos, but at the same time fits it perfectly. It's really awkward, but he had to make this list and high on this list for his use. I think he's still the best pre-taunting tag in the game, better than Gladiator. He doesn't have that safeguard on spawn, but he's got FU damage when he gets hit, which is crazy. And who would have thought Ultimus would have been top 3 on this list? Holy crap. Why is he top 3? Well, he benefits crazy from the stat buffs because he's one of those new characters with the new stats. His daily usage, guys, I'm finding different ways every single war, every single Crucible to use Ultimus and smash somebody. Just yeeting like a fully built Black Cat off the map, a fully built Lizard. War Dogs, he just kind of comes in, he's like, screw you, Okoye, and the team, like, I found ways to enjoy Ultimus that I never thought I would. And his cost, he's basically, not, I don't want to say free, but his diamond cost is really quick to get to. Like, really quick. Old Man Logan, the most recent addition to the Dark Promo collection scene. Is he the best character in the game right now? Is he better than Super Skrull? He's not better than Mephisto. He's not the best character in the game. Slow your roll, Dorky. Is he better than Super Skrull? Shit, I think so. Is he better than Black Knight? Undoubtedly. Is he better than Apocalypse? I don't think so. The Krakens cried hard when Apocalypse was released, and the developers over-delivered on that rework. We're going to talk about the cost more, and I'm going to talk more about Old Man Logan when we get to that point, because I think there's more to talk about Old Man Logan, especially like, let's just do it now, screw it. His raid use, he is a better 5th member for the Extreme team than Cyclops is. Unless they do something crazy, like put a tag, you can't use legendary characters in the raids, then he'll still be the 5th member of that team. And I don't think they're going to do that, because I think one of the next legendary characters must be a raid character. Like, we are overdue for a raid. And of course, at least Mystic and Tech have to be just demolished, right? We're going to get new teams for them. It's just going to be the case. Mutant would probably be the other team that falls off really hard because they were like the first team introduced just before Incursion to 2.3. But Old Man Logan revitalizes that team in a crazy way. So all extra investment you can get into this guy, 100% makes sense. That's why he's number 2. Like, whatever yellow stars you have, fill them up. If you think that you're about to get an extra yellow star on him because his event is coming back up, start saving. Maybe have that surplus ready so you can pull that trigger right away. But then there's the main man, Apocalypse. Holy cow, guys. The way the developers overcorrected with Apocalypse was insane. We're talking about a character, kit-wise, insane, right? This doesn't really get affected by the red stars, but kit-wise, like, spawns with Safeguard, doesn't resist subtraction, focus subtraction on the enemy. He gives his allies extra attack and extra life. And then, by the way, he's going to hit you for 60% of your max life. So whatever these new characters get, he's still smashing them. And that's one of the main reasons why he's rank 1. Because I think he's going to make the team, the arena team, over Super Skrull with the Annihilators and Mephisto. I said it, and I mean it. He gives himself speed up when he hits into a vulnerable. He's going to be able to destroy gladiators, death proofs and all, so that you can just move on to the next character. Apocalypse is that guy. Super duper impactful in Sword Satellite. Maybe we're going to use him in the raid section as well. If the Extreme team is struggling that much, Old Man Logan with Nightcrawler and Apocalypse, maybe Gambit and Forge, and we just sub out Sunspot, I guess. Like, what are we gonna do, right? Maybe we sub out Gambit so that Sunspot can just keep the energy going to Forge and Nightcrawler every node. Wouldn't that be crazy? Would it though? Because Apocalypse gives health to them the way Gambit does. Gambit gives the speed up. Like, I'm just talking hypothetically here, right? Just an amazing character, and what he brings, it's kind of undeniable. So what I'd like to do now is let's just go look at the cost of these characters, and we'll kind of get a better grip about like why I felt the way I felt on the cost front. First of all, shout out to this guy, Updog, great content creator, fellow envoy. He has this wonderful infographic that every time I'm asked rather to remake this video, I have to reference this because it's just so well done. I'm going to leave a link to his Discord in the description below, as well as his YouTube channel. Make sure you go give him a follow and check out some of his content. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised by how informative it is. But let's just look at Ultimates. You see Ultimates right there. You start with the 5 stars, and the 6 and 7 is going to cost you 2,250 dark promos total to get him to 7. And then to get him to 3 diamonds is only 960 dark diamond promotions. Yeah, that's auto. That's why he's number 3. You can do it so fast, you start yeeting people. You see Ultron, just look down the line of the 7-star. Ultron's 4,000. Like, everybody else is 4,000. Does Ultron ever have that sort of value? I don't think so. Even when his diamonds are that cheap, his usage just is not there. Doctor Doom starts at 4 stars. The 5 costs 3,000. So it's going to cost you, what is this? This is 8,000. This is 11,000 dark promotion credits to get Doom up to 7 stars so he can start sniffing those somewhat cheaper diamonds. That doesn't do it for me. Dormammu, same thing. But then his dark diamond upgrades are more expensive. Like, you need to start looking at these characters as whoever I bring to 7 red stars, I'm eventually going to put some diamonds into them. Because if you don't have diamonds on these characters, with the exception of like the newest characters like Old Man Logan, you can't do it yet. They start falling off a cliff. Like a 7 red star Dormammu just gets blown away by like a new Warriors who might have 1 or 2 diamonds in Firestar and Gwenpool. Like, it's crazy the difference diamonds make. So if you're not prepared to put diamonds on them, don't bother upgrading them to 7 red stars. Morgan Le Fay, Rogue, Archangel, that 5th red star is nice and cheap, but after that, it's just as expensive as everybody else. Putting dark diamonds on them, I mean, like, Rogue I could kind of see as a defensive player, but I just don't see the value there. Then there's Red Hulk. Red Hulk's 5th star is cheap, but why would you put the 5th star if you're not going to do 6 and 7? Like, it doesn't matter that that's cheap. The rest are expensive, and it's going to kind of tax you too much. Once again, he's kind of like an assisting unit, right? If you do manage to like find a way to bring him to 7 red star though, putting 2 diamonds on him I think is very cost efficient. And that's something I'm going to be preaching about, with the exception of Ultimus and the exception of one character a little bit later. 2 diamonds is my stopping point, because you can see that jump in cost for the 3rd diamond is crazy. Once again, with the exception of Ultimus, who only costs 600. Zombie Iron Man, you got to start from 1 and go all the way up. There's no shot I would ever do that. Same with Quicksilver. Like, if you haven't done these characters yet, there's definitely no way to justify it. Nova, you're going to at least start with him at 4, then he costs the same as the Horseman. But once again, like, if you're not finding that he can carry a team in Crucible and War, then I just don't feel like you're getting enough value from that. Big Time Spider-Man, starting from 1, working it up, it's a little bit on the cheaper side, which is nice, but he's not a carry. He is like a supplemental setup character where he can get around one person's taunt. If you could get him to 2 diamonds, that will be a nice Black Knight counter, but all of a sudden they throw rooms at you like stage 4 in the current Crucible season, where it's just like, well, now he can't ult, so now he's kind of useless, right? He can steal revives, but he doesn't need like extra star levels to do that, so I just don't find it's very worth it. Black Cat, like Red Hulk, if you get her up to that 7 red stars, you might as well be looking at the 1 and 2 diamonds, and look how expensive that is in comparison. Like, it starts getting up there. Apocalypse, our number 1 guy, 3,500, 4,500, and 5,000. So pretty expensive, right? What is this? This is 3, 7, 8, 13,000 total, and then an additional 3,600 to get the 2 diamonds on him. But he is also the exception to my rule. I think you go all the way to 3 diamonds on him. It might take you 2 or 3 Crucible seasons to get that, maybe 4, depending on where you're ranked. Because he's taking 60% of the enemy's life, him surviving is just crazy. It's next level. The damage he puts out when he starts trying to flip buffs and stuff like that, him having that extra power is mind-boggling. I would much rather invest another 6,000 into him than the 3,000 or whatever that I would have to invest in Red Hulk to get him to 2 diamonds. That's just my food for thought. I think Apocalypse is just, man, he could be the best character in the game. He's a hard counter to Old Man Logan. If he gets to do his thing, he can one-shot Old Man Logan when he's at 3 diamonds, regardless of how big the Old Man Logan is. Right? 7 red star Old Man Logan gets one-shot by the Apocalypse Power Punch at 3 diamonds. Think about that. Zombie Juggernaut, you gotta start him from 0 and go all the way up. It's just too expensive. Look, his 3 diamond costs 9k. Get out of here. That's just an indication of how crazy expensive he is. 3,600 for the 2 diamonds. If I'm not prepared to bring them up to the diamonds, I can't justify doing the dark promos on them, because then that's gonna take the opportunity away from somebody else. Like, look at, if I brought Juggernaut up to 7 red stars, then maybe I can't bring up Goblin, but I could have put diamonds on Goblin and had a team just crush in War and Crucible. Goblin, he's got that legendary track. I just like his cost. I brought him up to 2 diamonds myself. 0 regrets. Black Knight, like I said, Black Knight just hits different for some reason. He doesn't fit my criteria at all. Having to bring him up from 1 all the way, it does get more expensive than your average like legendary character once you get to past the 4th red stars, and then the diamonds are also more expensive. But for some reason, it just works for me. I brought him up to 2 diamonds. I have no regrets. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Yeah, it's just, there's something about the guy. The pre-taunting super damage, it just makes sense. Then there's Skrull. So Skrull, you get the 4 red stars for free, which is fantastic. But then it's 21,000. His diamonds are not yet available. That also subtracts his value, at least for me. And so he's definitely on my, like, hey, he's an all-star. But he's the last one I'm going to do. Captain Britain, we talked about this briefly already. Like, I just don't know what's going on with Captain Britain's red stars on his 2nd run. Who freaking knows? Diamonds aren't available yet unless you bought the offer, which you got 1 diamond for free. So, yeah, I just don't know what's going on with that guy. Old Man Logan, you get 4 for free if you could beat difficulty, I believe it's difficulty 14 is where the 4th red is. And then the 7th yellow is difficulty 15. And then he's not actually bad, like 1800 for the 5th red, not terrible. 5200 and 6750. That is more expensive than the characters, but I really thought for sure that because of his value, they were going to give him that scroll treatment and make him that expensive. That's not the case. Because of Old Man Logan's value, because he's like a raid character for crying out loud, I think he is, again, the exception where, although I can't put diamonds on him, I'll bring him all the way up now because the cost makes sense for the use. And when I can put diamonds on him, I'll definitely be doing that. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any counterpoints that you'd like to make in the comment sections, please let it be known. But for now, stay happy, healthy, have fun. I'm going to go chew down like 5 hauls now. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun. And I'll see you in the next one.